Hello student, now in this lecture we will discuss about the properties of a Z transform. We have seen Z transform from standard function in the previous video. So let us see the property. So first property that we have to discuss it is a linearity property. It is common in all the concepts from the calculus. It is there in the derivative, integration, matrices, functions, everywhere. In the Laplace also we have seen this. What is the linearity property? Suppose if we have a two sequences fk and gk, and so these are the scalar multiple a and b. So what about the Z transform of that? A into Fk plus B into Gk. So A constant outside into Z transform of Fk plus B constant outside into Z transform of Gk. Okay. So this is the linearity property. This is very simple. Okay. It is just the splitting. It used to split the function. So if there are more than two terms, okay, or more than one term, basically. So second is change of scale property. What is this property? So this is there in the Laplace also. So suppose this is Z transform of Fk is equal to f of z. This is the definition. Okay. Then what happen if a raised to k is there with multiple of Fk? Okay. Suddenly its Z transform is f of z upon a. Okay. So just find out the Z transform of Fk. It is f of z and replace z by z minus a. That is the only change here. Replace z by z upon a in f of z. Okay, where f of z is what? Z transform of fk. This is a change of scale property. So we will discuss some examples. First of all, we just discuss these all properties and see this third is just the application of this previous change of scale property. E raised to a minus a is there. Okay, so z upon z replaced by what? Simply z replaced by z upon e raised to minus a, and it become what? E raised to plus a into z. So this is the application of this. Okay, now next is shifting theorem. What is this shifting theorem says? So if Z transform of fk is f of z, basically, then what about Z transform of f of k plus n? Okay, if instead of k there is k plus n, k plus 2, sine of suppose k plus 3. What is the Z transform of that? Then it is simply z raised to n into f of z. Take z raised to n outside into f of z, where n is what? This one. Okay, so we will talk about that also. What happen if k minus is there? Okay, so this is z raised to minus n into f of z. Suppose if we have to find z transform of suppose 2 raised to k. What is it? Z transform, as we have seen, z upon z minus 2. Okay, in the previous video we have seen this. But what happen if instead of k, if there is 2 raised to k plus 3, then what? So now n is nothing but 3. Fk is k plus 3, isn't it? So therefore, what is my z transform? Z raised to minus z raised to 3. Okay, as n is nothing but 3 into z upon z minus what? 2, like this. Okay, so in this way we can easily find out the Z transform of that. Now let us come to the next property, multiplication by k. Okay, this is also a very important property. So what happen if k is there in the multiple of fk? As we know, this is the definition. Z transform of fk is f of z. Okay, so k into f of k is nothing but minus z into d by dz of f of z. Okay, so see, simply if I have to find Z transform of k into a raised to k, what is this? We know that Z transform of a raised to k is equal to what? Z upon Z minus a. For, of course, for k greater than equal to 0. Okay, so this is my fk here. This is my fk. It's Z transform. This is f of z now. It's Z transform of f of z. Now what we need to do? We just multiply by minus and take the derivative. So therefore, Z transform of this k into a raised to k is nothing but it is minus z d by dz of this z upon z minus a. Whatever that, just find out that derivative and that will be my final answer. Okay, so in this way we can easily find out in general. See here, k raised to n, k square, k cube, k raised to 4. If k raised to n is there, then minus z into d by dz in the bracket, power is n, where this n is here, whatever the power of k, take that time number of time derivative into minus z into f of z. So one thing is very important here. Always note that. What is that thing? Minus z into d by dz square. It may not be equal to. It may not be. It is not equal to. It should not be. Actually, this is z d square by dz square. Okay. So how it is? But it is what? It is minus z d by dz into minus z d by dz. So these things are totally different. Remember this. But because of this mm, square, it may be like this. But if power is 3, power is 4, power is 5, or in general power is n. Okay. So this is not the case. Okay. So this is minus z d by dz into minus z d by dz, like that. Okay, so it likes a square is nothing but a into a. Secondly, so this is the first thing that I want to note. Second thing, if z is z transform of k. So z transform of k can be written as k into 1. Am I right? And this is nothing but what? Because k is multiple with 1. We know what is the z transform of 1. Okay, so this is z into z minus z d by dz of f of z. What is f of z? Z transform of 1. And what is z transform of 1? So this is simply what? Minus z d by dz into 1 minus z raised to minus 1. Isn't it? Okay, so this is what my z transform of 1. And if we just take the derivative and multiply by minus, what I get here, 1 minus z raised to minus 1 raised to 2 minus 2, where mod z is greater than 1. Okay, so this is a constant. It's just like the derivative of constant or Laplace of constant term or whatever that. Okay, so next property is division by k, multiplication by k and division by k. If k is there in the denominator, you must have to take the integration from z to infinity of f of z upon z. See, if k is multiple of fk, then we take the derivative. If k is in the denominator of fk, then we take the integration from z to infinity. Okay, fine. In general, if k raised to n is there, we just need to take n derivative, n integrations. We need to integrate this f of z upon z n time. Just need to understand this. Okay. Initial value theorem. This is one of the important thing for the online purpose or objective purpose. So if this is the definition, then what is f of 0? F of 0 is simply what? It is limit of fk as k tends to 0. This is nothing but f of 0. This is same as f of z in limit of f of z, z tends to infinity. Isn't it? So this is what z tends to infinity. Just a minute. This is z tends to infinity. Okay, and this is f of 0. Z tends to 0 first, k tends to 0, and then after that z tends to infinity. Initial value, see, look at the final value. See, k tends to infinity and z tends to 1. Because of z minus 1, f of z is there, isn't it? So these are the two theorems. Initial value, in the initial value k tends to 0 and z tends to infinity, and in the final value k tends to infinity, which is the final value of the real line. Okay, k tends to infinity, and then z tends to 1 because of this z minus 1. Okay, fine. Now the last thing is what? Convolution theorem. What is the convolution of two functions, two sequences fk and gk? So if we have a fk and gk and their convolution is denoted by star, it is nothing but simply summation fm into g of km. K runs from minus infinity to infinity. And what is the convolution? What if happen if we apply the z transform of that? So z transform of this convolution of two functions fk and gk is nothing but f of z in dot capital G of z. Where what is f of z here? So where my f of z is nothing but what? Z transform of fk. And what is my g of z? So this is z transform of gk. Okay, so hope you have got this. Okay, so these are some properties related to z transform. In the next video we'll just come with the examples. Okay, finally how to solve the examples. Thank you.